All right, I have a lot to cover. I wanted to cover this in one video. I've made a video where I shoot through this. If you want a faster explanation, it will be the video before this video. Okay, this is part one. Part one, I'm going to explore the ideas why you must understand, regardless of your awareness of the wordplay. All the evidence is there. It's in plain view. I wouldn't even say it's hidden. It's a no-brainer. Why do you reap what you sow? Why do you rape what you sow? Do I need to even think about that phrase to know that if I plant my seed in a world where the colonists have won, they have conquered, and they haven't truly allowed for morality to bloom, to blossom, to grow. Therefore, if I allow my child, especially as a woman, a female, to live in this world, she is going to be coerced. She is going to be brainwashed. She's going to be the victim of propaganda, conformity, media influence, and on and on. She's basically going to be raped in some form or another because she's going to have sex in a way that if she had known better and she had been trained by a martial artist to live in reality, she wouldn't have sex with that person, okay? If she truly had the sense. So if I don't have the sense to do the right thing, okay, because my ancestors bred in the wrong direction, for example, okay, and I have a kid, and the world is mastering their technique of mind control and social control and eugenics, the control of sexual behavior, then certainly I may as well have raped my descendants myself. You see what I'm saying? So you rape, you reap, you pair. You're pairing with somebody who's basically raping them what you sow, what you plant, what you gave birth to. Okay? I don't think anyone should misunderstand that. You are complicit with rape if you're a conformist who's not trying to restore the divine order. Anything other than the martial art order is ill-gotten gains, right? Illusion-gotten gains, ill-gotten gains, mentally ill, okay? And for this reason, we cannot truly, on the highest level of wisdom, feel sorry for the survivors, the serpent survivors, okay? They are meant to go spiritually extinct. It has to do with evolution. Evil. You, I, have the I in. Okay, evolution, right? You're evolving toward being more evil in a system that is controlled, hopelessly controlled by capitalists, a crony capitalist, corporatist, corpus means body, scum, right? They're obsessed with bodies, their body. Paintings, statues, sculptures, aesthetics, and so on. Okay? You have no excuse for missing this stuff. It also goes back to the idea of recollection, cultural memory, cultural sensitivity, cultural conditioning. Okay? Do you need these words to see these ideas? No. Are you fucking kidding me? What, you don't know what a TV is? You don't know what education is? You don't hear the controversies about, liberal media and, the news is lying to us and so on and so forth. Why are these things allowed to exist? What is the effect they're having on society? You can't tell that people are misled, right? And it goes back to raw collection. You don't know that since it's an information age that people have the opportunity to do their research and figure out the correct philosophy, belief system, path, ideology to have, okay? You have no excuse. The world is being shepherded, marshaled, ordered. It's being designed in a certain way. Corporate structures, military structures, private structures, club structures, entities, institutions, civic institutions, church structures, body structures, skyscrapers. Okay? Scraping the atmosphere. Reach for the sky. They're the skyscrapers. They have no limit for those rich cowards, but they put limits on you. It is your false pride. It is your ancestor worship in various forms. Right? You don't have to be bowing down to an image of your ancestor to be worshiping them by saying my race is superior. Is it now? If anything, there's a family lineage in some group of people that's superior to all. But there's just various forms of traitors, and no servant can be greater. They can't be a greater good, and they can't be a greater evil, right? There is, the ceiling is lukewarm, okay? It is neutral, okay? As you move toward neutral, but you're not there because you're serving them by being alive. Therefore, you're either more, a greater evil because you're a rich, attractive woman, for example, or some rich scumbag who's telling people what to do, okay? Or you're a lesser evil You're not a greater good because you haven't even taken a step inside the divine order. So you're not good at all. It's just how evil are you? You're not following God's orders in the divine order. You're not paying homage to God through the natural martial art order. So you're not good at all. Just how evil are you? Okay, these are no brain ideas. You do not need the wordplay in this video and the next to understand why I'm right about this. You don't. You don't need for me to tell you, where I live, to know that I live in Santa Clara County, somewhere in Morganhill, and if you try hard enough, you'll come across me. Okay? If you want to find your way to me, you will find me. You know certain things. I can't go out at night, right? The light blinds me. I'm not going to spell it out for you. Okay? You have what you need to come into the divine order, to stop everything, to risk everything. Your job is to come into the divine order or die trying. The true scale of a person is how much they suffer to restore the divine order. And of course, that means obeying, right? You can't say, well, I'm going to work behind the scenes. You have to obey. Okay? Now, it's kind of painful, but it is what it is. It goes back to the title of this video. The top versus separate. Separate yourself from what? Society, God's orders, Ra's spirit, the creator spirit, right? Separate yourself from conflict. Go, to be a Buddhist monk, a Catholic monk. Go be a hermit, a survivalist, right? Is separation doing the work of the creator? No. You're not in the divine order. Okay? You are not trying to restore it. You're letting people suffer. What do you call somebody who lets people suffer who's not in the divine order? They're hiding. Hides. Hades. Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hydes. That is the part of you that wants to hide. Okay? And it's a monster. Okay? And it's hiding inside of you. You have to cast that out and have heart, which is the seat of intelligence, to do the right thing. And it's right there in the wordplay, right? Top versus the pit, right? Their top in this world is the abyss, the pit, the pot, the bowl that covers the light. Okay? Versus the top, which is up, the way to the sun, which is Ra. So versus separate, see, pair, or pour, eight. Right? If you separate, you're watching them be killed and you're not doing anything. You're not trying to pull them in the right direction. Sap, they're sapping you of the spirit. You are eight. You have been eaten. Okay? Sow, see, pay, rate. Right? You're sowing and you should be aware of the rate in which you're paying. You reap what you sow. Not only are you in defiance, you have set the stage for every one of your offspring, every generation, all of your offspring, to also be raped and abused, right? It goes back to you rape, you pair, you reap what you sow. You are going to pay for teaching your daughter to shun men of Ra, of the Creator. You are going to pay for planting your seed in this world. No one should feel sorry for you not going to heaven, because not only are you defying Ra when there are countless examples all throughout history that are unknown, but obviously you're on somewhere at level we know people have served him. That's why there's the Narmer palette, okay, of people that did do the right thing. It is possible to do the right thing. This challenge is something that you can accomplish. You chose to plant your seed in a way where these people are going to suffer every generation by not insisting, leading by example. Actions speak louder than words, by not insisting on the divine order. And that goes back to timing. What the hell are you waiting for? The trajectory of mind control to be complete till they have complete control, until they can say, make this guy do this, make this guy trip in the street, right? They can damn near do that already. Look at brain mapping. Microwave weapons on record, mainstream news, New York Times, patents and all. Okay? You have no reason not to believe that Science News and the New York Times, when they say that they have mapped the brain, scientists can read your thoughts. What are you waiting for? You think eugenics isn't connected to mind control, isn't connected to controlling sexual behavior? You think these people aren't sexual sadists? You think this isn't a sexualized society? You think people don't stare at women's butts all the time? You think women aren't taught to wear tight clothes to show off their butts? You think they're not sluts? What are you waiting for? You think these celebrities aren't whores? They're not kinky British whores because of their cells? Evil, effeminate, British kinkiness. What are you waiting for? trajectory, tragedy. You think they're not connected? Now let's go back to why I'm the top martial artist. You should have figured that out already in this one video alone, with just what I've said. Who else is doing this way? This is a martial arts explanation. Who is established in the demonic state? Who is complicit with this demonic state, incidentally, that has the most martial arts schools in any country in the world? And what atmosphere have they created? We'll get to that. It goes back to Spirit, right? Spirit, right? Spirit how? On the mat? Really? An unnatural competition? Think about the terrain, to tear rain, when Set is the deity of chaos and rain. But I don't expect you to understand the deeper message of that story, so let's just keep moving here. I rapes, right? Backwards. The T is the feminine suffix, the plus. We'll get into the wordplay in part 2. Why the wordplay is correct. You'll see that beyond any doubt that even if the wordplay wasn't correct, the idea is correct. When we spar it, we wake up, hey, I'm starting to realize things I didn't realize before. And that should go for all wise observers. Your eye is ripped. Your perspective is changed. Eye rapes. Now you see why it's called Serapis on the cross, the feminine suffix, the T, the symbol of torture and crucifixion. You see people being raped. See rapes. See rape as. See rape is. See rape eyes. Right? The idea, the spirit. To spar it. The prize fight. Ease erp. Erp is the Egyptian word for wine. If it has significance in Egyptian, when there's a pyramid on the back of the fucking dollar bill, when America is the new Egypt, when Crowley dresses like an Egyptian, when all these celebrities, Katy Perry, you're a fucking dumbass if you don't think it's significant, when a bunch of bitches talking about wordplay and hidden in plain view and symbolism and sigils. Okay? Magic spells, symbols, and signs. See the signs. Tournament. Tear. Right? The martyr, Tuesday, Tears Day, tear. Norse mythology puts his hand in feminist mouth, the worldly wolf, and so on and so forth, right? Where we get the word martyr, more tear. No, so tear, no man. Okay? You know man, you know men, the patron of chemists. Transcend, train to send. Where are you training your children to send them to? To hell? To the abyss? To conform with Satanism and pedophiles and Pan, which means all? You know, you think that's a coincidence? Pan, has his arm around in a statue around a kid teaching him to play the flute, which is the phallic symbol. Okay, he's fucking a goat in another statue. I believe that statue is at the Museum of Rhodes. Rhodes Scholarships, Cecil Rhodes. Okay. And it goes back to you need to have a willingness to sacrifice yourself and everyone else. So what's going to happen to my kids? What's going to happen to their flesh or their soul? Which one are you concerned with and why? Is martial arts not the intangible heritage of a nation, the spiritual, the cultural and spiritual memory of your forefathers? Manifesting the same spirit of the honorable before you? Aren't you willing, shouldn't one be willing to die? Right? Martial arts, war arts, Mars, the god of war art, shouldn't you be willing to die and sacrifice? When you go off to war, aren't you sacrificing your family in a sense? If you lose, don't they get sacrificed one way or another? Incidentally, the word sacrifice is seek, ra, face. Is another play on words, right? It goes back to the challenge, right? Martial artists have contacted me about the challenge, famous martial artists, and they conceded my point by not accepting my challenge and resorting to things that aren't have to do with sparring, spirit, what doesn't have to do with spirit, right? Strike it, spar it. What form of sparring? Not wrestling. So wrestling is a snake out, a boa constrictor, restricted, constricted. Okay? Challenge, chill in E versus call on A, which goes back to royal. Who's the A? The alpha male. In martial arts has a structure, a teacher. That teacher, the king is supposed to be a martial art prince. That's why he has a sword. He knights people, right? This is an idea that goes back to the root of this idea, which is the martial artist is the true king. Ra, yell, royal. Lay your. Lay or. Lie or. Lie, why, your. Okay? And so on. Sure, you can put the rest together. All right. The Narmer palette, right? We talk about pictures, picks, pecs, right? Right? The type of pecs for striking, for example. Okay? And of course, the pecking order, the picking order, right? Women betrayed the Pharaoh. That's why he set a trap in Egypt, and we'll get to that later in part 2. So principle, prince I, pol, polis, called center, politics.